Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel for everything Arsenal and everything football. Thanks for being here. I hope you're all doing well. And welcome to the match reaction and player ratings for Arsenal's 3-1 victory over Southampton. Revenge, redemption, you can call it all that, but I don't think it really is because I still enjoyed the FA Cup. But hey, we got the win. 8th in the table right now. I cannot complain about that. And I have my two awesome guests with me as always. WSL, how are you?
I'm good, man. Much better after that performance.
Yeah, awesome. And HJ, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. Going into this game, we just had to win because Arteta threw away our cup just to win this game. And if we didn't, and that when that first goal came in, I was like, oh no, please don't do this to us. And then obviously we came back very good and above Chelsea, as Cookie's saying there. So it's always good. And Man United are knocked off the top. So hopefully we can beat them as well again on Saturday.
That would be brilliant. If we beat United all of a sudden, I think it's like it's top 6, top 5, and United will drop to like 4th or something. So that would be amazing. But yeah, already 20 people in the chat already. Make sure you drop a like on the video. And yeah, I'm buzzing. So I'll just go through the match reaction like for 20 minutes before the player ratings as usual. And it's going to be better than over the weekend. WSL wasn't happy. HJ wasn't happy after we lost that game. So let's hope it's a better one right now. So starting lineup as usual. I think I was kind of late checking it. I was like 10 minutes late. I was still bothering about, I think there was a game that was going on, Newcastle and Leeds. I was just watching their fans going to meltdown again. So I forgot to check our lineup. But yeah, I did check it at the end of the day. And what was the reaction for the lineup, WSL?
I mean, it was much more positive than on Saturday, obviously. I thought Pepe was quite a weird introduction. I mean, you know, a lot of fans were giving him a lot of stick. I was, but I think Arteta, obviously a lot of the Pepe in fans were saying about how he created the most chances that game, how he created the most key chances. So maybe Arteta saw that and said, you know, we need to bring that for this game. And you can only praise Arteta's decision there because Pepe obviously scored the goal. He played really well today. And again, I'm kind of sad Tierney's not there. I hope it's that they're resting him so he's fully fit against United. But overall, it was a really good lineup, really positive.
AJ, any surprises there in that lineup?
I thought maybe Tierney was going to start. But yeah, other than that, I wasn't too surprised. Maybe Martinelli could have started over Pepe. I didn't expect Arteta to go Pepe, especially after he played that game in the FA Cup. But other than that, I wasn't too surprised because I knew AUBAMEYANG would miss out today.
Yeah, I hope AUBAMEYANG will be back for the weekend because the United game, I get the personal reasons, but I don't care about your personal reasons. When it's United, I need you to come back and play these 2 hours and go back because United, you need everyone back there. So Rob Holding made his 100th appearance for us, by the way, today. I think it was a better performance that he had over the weekend. In my predicted lineup, I actually said I didn't expect Arteta to go for Gabriel and Holding again. And I didn't want them to go again because I knew Southampton would start at the same strikers. And after that terrible performance, meeting the same team after 2 days, it will basically turn out the same eventually. So I was kind of happy with that. So the lineup, everyone was kind of happy with it. And let's get into the first minute of the game. 55 seconds in WSL. Lacazette gets yet another chance. You don't know how bothered I was about that. I was so frustrated. I just remembered all the other chances he misses. I remember telling you over the weekend when we were doing the watch along that Son doesn't miss those one-on-one chances and Lacazette misses a lot of them. So 55 seconds in, that would have been the quickest goal we've scored in ages. So what did you make of that chance?
I mean, I actually didn't get to see the full build-up as I literally turned my game on. I was just watching the replay of the shot. So I don't really know how good the build-up was. But yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of fans are going to be disappointed that he missed it. Yeah, you can compare him to Son, etc. But I think if you take a look at it really closely, it was a really well-placed shot. It just bounced, like it just took a bounce like when it went through the goalkeeper's legs. And I also think that the pressure that he had on him from, I think it was Bednarek, I think he did as good as he could do with it. I mean, yeah, he's missed a lot of chances this season, so you can put that down as another one of those. But I mean, come on, Lacazette was not bad today. And I mean, you know, I see a lot of fans blaming him for the first goal because he didn't score. Come on, man. It was like a minute or two after Lacazette missed the chance. You know, strikers are going to miss chances, and if Lacazette didn't score today, you can criticize him for that miss, but he went and scored anyway. So yeah, it was disappointing, but not as disappointing as some people are making out to be.
I'll tell you why it was kind of disappointing, because 2 minutes later we were punished brutally, and it was a very well worked corner. We always talk about that HJ90. Remember you bringing up that picture of our terrible corners where we surround the goalkeeper, I think 2 weeks ago or something, and you could see the difference between us and Southampton, the corner techniques. I see West Ham scoring corners every single game, and their technique is very, very good. So we are punished within 2 minutes. What did you make of that corner? Poor defending or just a good corner?
It was a good corner, but I would blame Pepe, because why isn't he tracking his man? Armstrong just allowed to run through into the box and no one's watching him. Pepe was supposed to, no one's watching him and he's cleared through. I think we should have done much, much better with that one. And on the chance before Lacazette, I got annoyed because a top striker puts that in. It's simple as that. He didn't get any height on it. I thought he gets a bit of height on it that goes into the bottom corner. Clinical strikers put that away. And I think, and yeah, obviously, as you said already, you know, the fact that they punished us so brutally, if a minute later, that just worsened it. But we won the game in the end, and that doesn't really matter. And Lacazette did score as well, so it wasn't the biggest thing in the end.
Yeah, but I think we've considered a couple of corners recently. We need to be watchful for that. I remember Everton, Mina scoring this game. There's one I've forgotten, but yeah, Burnley, AUBAMEYANG's own goal. So we need to be careful with these corners. United have also considered a lot of corners this season, and you're kind of going into that direction. But anyway, 4 minutes later, WSL, HJ's quote didn't really work, because Pepe didn't need a lot of minutes this time round. He did not need any time to settle into the game. He actually scored a goal. He actually finished a one-on-one chance. What did you make of his finish? Good composure. What you expect from Pepe?
I mean, I agree with what he said about the Southampton goal. Pepe should have tracked back quicker. I think Holding was a little bit to blame for that as well. But again, for me, if a player makes a mistake, the player can't go back and not make the mistake. The only thing they can do is rectify it by doing something just as good later on in the match. And Pepe scored the equalizer 4 or 5 minutes later. And it wasn't just a little tap in or a lucky goal. It was a good goal. You know, he held up the player. I'll actually say this: his arm was being pulled. Pepe could have easily gone down for a penalty, and it would have been given, or it could have been given. And that's obviously the safe option, is taking the penalty. But Pepe obviously said, "Nah, you know, I'm going to hit this with my left foot. I'm confident that I'm going to score." And it was a wonderful finish. You know, the goalkeeper was never getting to it. And I mean, yeah, if you do blame Pepe for the first goal, which I know I do, he made up for it. And like I said, that's all a player can do when he makes a mistake, is make up for it.
Yeah, HJ, that's because he was playing on the left side, more composure, better technique from that side.
Yeah, because he's left-footed. So I think in a way, he was a lot more comfortable driving at the defense from the left-hand side and then cutting back in, something I think usually Tierney would have done. But the fact that he wasn't playing and the fact we could put Pepe on the left-hand side caused them a lot of problems. Something they weren't expecting, something I expected us to do, because AUBAMEYANG didn't play. So I think Pepe did cause a lot of problems down the left-hand side. And yeah, he didn't need time to settle, but Xhaka put a brilliant ball through to him and Pepe just had to finish it.
I was going to mention that as the next one, because the previous chance, I think it was still Saka who gave Lacazette the opportunity, and he missed it. So Saka, very, very good today. I'm positive about the player ratings today. I'm feeling a bit positive. Then the second goal, again, WSL, you mentioned the pull on Pepe's arm for the first goal. The second goal too, if Saka went down, could easily have been a yellow card, a red card for them. So good finish. Lacazette should have done the same for the first goal, you think?
I think the main difference with this second goal, and I'm not seeing anybody talk about it, it's Leno.
Yeah.
I said last week on the last stream that the one thing I don't like about Leno is he doesn't take enough long kicks. He always plays out short. When Martinez used to play, he'd take a long kick and we'd get a goal from it. Look, like take a look back at that goal. Leno boots the ball forward, which I think it's the first time I've seen him do it in at least 3 or 4 matches. You know, we were able to control the ball, move it nicely, and Saka does the goalkeeper. But for me, the main thing that came from was that long ball. It got us moving quickly. And I mean, yeah, it was a great finish from Saka. You know, like, I'm going to get into him later in the player ratings, but, you know, let's be honest, McCarthy, the goalkeeper, there's nothing he could have done. You know, he was already off his line. Saka either chips him or he runs at him. It's like, it was just great from the team, you know, the positioning, the way we moved the ball so quickly to catch Southampton off guard, it was perfect. But for me, Leno was the main person who was he was the catalyst for that goal.
HJ, when you went through one-on-one with the keeper, did you expect him 100% to finish, or you worried it was on his right foot?
Nah. As soon as it came to Saka, I knew that's going in. I just rely on him. He's one of the Lacazette played a brilliant ball through to him, and I knew I saw the keeper coming out, and I knew exactly what Saka was going to do. He was going to come around and put it in. I'm not sure why the keeper came out because defenders were there to cover him. So maybe if the keeper stayed on his line, it would have been more difficult for Saka to actually finish. But the keeper I thought was quite poor today in some aspects. So brilliant from Saka there, and that's just what we need. Brilliant player.
And I think McCarthy is actually a very, very good goalkeeper, so we were kind of lucky today. But even last season, when you beat them 2-0 at their place, he's the one who made the mistake for Nketiah's goal.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was a while ago. The last time I said anything positive about Nketiah, I think it was then. So let's get into the third goal. I was so scared that he got injured. I'll start with the HJ this time. That goal, very, very good pass.
Cedric made it.
Who said he can't play on the left side? I know it wasn't.
Okay. Definitely. Yesterday, on Saturday, I gave him a 1 for that left. I gave him a 1 for the left back performance. Today, I'll give him a 9. We'll get onto that later. But that was what happened to him in 2 days. What actually happened? But that was such a brilliant cross because all the crosses on Saturday were going over. They were just going too far. The crosses today were all perfect, and that made the Lacazette goal. And then Saka, he taps it down, brilliant ball over to Lacazette, and Lacazette sort of just fell on it and sort of just got a little foot onto it, and that just got the goal for us. But Cedric made that one for me. And it was just after the little substitute thing with Pepe and Willian, where like he was walking off, but in the end Smith Rowe got injured, so they got a bit caught off guard, Southampton, so we caught them there.
Yeah, how important was that goal, WSL? Because going into the final 15 minutes, we know you can't trust Arsenal.
I mean, very important. You know, I was saying, you know, like at 2-1, I thought Arteta was willing to keep that lead, and that was it. We were going to sit back and defend. And I was saying, not even just because we're Arsenal and we love giving away a last-minute goal, but like no club can sit on a 2-1 lead and think that's enough. We've always got to go for that extra goal just to make sure that nothing happens. Look at the Chelsea game when we beat them 3-1. You know, we were winning 3-0. They went and scored, and they almost scored a second goal. Like we were lucky to have that third goal just in case anything happened. But yeah, like I agree with HJ. That was all Cedric. Like the second goal for me was all Leno, all Cedric. People are praising Willian, but they're not talking about Cedric. That ball was amazing. You know, to switch play like that, and then for Saka to first time pass straight into Lacazette's path. And with what you said about him getting injured, I knew he wasn't injured when I saw him cracking a smile when he was rubbing his leg. So I think he was trying to like laughing through the pain. But yeah, I mean, I really wanted Lacazette to get a goal today because I think people were going to undermine his performance because he didn't score. So I'm really happy that he got that goal.
Yeah, I was really, really happy he got that goal, and Saka another very, very good pass. But Smith also went out injured. Do you think it's serious, HJ?
I don't think so. I think it was just precautionary for United game because we need him badly.
He didn't look injured as well. Like, sorry for cutting you off there, Glenn, but he wasn't. No problem. He wasn't limping. He wasn't. It just looked like he was kind of out. Like he was a bit tired, maybe. And, you know, like HJ said, it's just precautionary. You know, we really don't need him injured for United. So hopefully he's fine.
Yeah, so I saw HJ putting it in the chat too. So Bukayo Saka is just the second English teenager to score for Arsenal in consecutive Premier League appearances after Ashley Cole in October 2000. Composure now. The people who actually like take care of these stats and everything, I always big them up because this is not easy finding stats like this, but that has to be a good thing for Saka. Like literally everything is going through him, and without him we always struggle. I mean, I hope Willian was watching that game again. I really hope he was watching, because literally the only reason he went out of the FA Cup is because we didn't have Saka, and that's the kind of people on that day. So he needs to really improve the game. But yeah, we'll come back to that. So I guess we can, before I get into the player ratings, one final thing. Were you expecting a win today, WSL? Do you think it was redeemed us from that defeat?
I don't think it redeems us, because I think like it's the manner of how we lost and like what it meant to lose. If it was the Carabao Cup, I wouldn't be bothered at all, really. Like I'd be bothered that we lost, but come on, man, it's the FA Cup. You know, we're trying to retain the cup. It's our favourite cup. You know, we've won it the most times. It's like, I still seriously do think Arteta threw it, which makes me slightly sad, because I wanted us to win a trophy, and I think the FA Cup was easily the best opportunity to do that. So I don't think it doesn't redeem it, but it kind of sweetens it. You know, if we lost both times to Southampton within like 3 or 4 days, it would have just been pure embarrassment. So at least we got one of the wins, I think.
Awesome. How about you, Shay?
I think there was a lot of pressure on Arteta on this game, just for the fact that he threw the FA Cup for just this one league game. And I think now WSL made the point that Arteta's been told to focus on the league, especially when we're going to be having to play the Thursdays, Sundays in a month or so. We talked about this earlier. But again, the FA Cup, it's sad to go after. I don't want to mention that too much. Let's just leave it to next year. Forget about it for now, where we can go again.
Yeah.
But
that is what hurts me most. Next year, full year for that competition again, a full year, man. 12 months.
Because it starts in January, doesn't it? So,
yeah, but hey, we are here to talk about the positives, and as you say,
hi
Nippon, hi.
Game. We're going to
hi Dennis in the chat, Rukundo, Miss Mel, Nana, obviously HJ, Shiv, Varke, Sweetie, Ray, Cookie, Lewis, everyone else in the chat. Let's now get into the player ratings.
5 points off.
Make sure you drop a like on the video and subscribe if you're new, and make sure you head over to HJ90's channel on YouTube and to WSLFC. Makes some incredible content on the women's football. And now let's get into the player ratings for the game as usual. This time I'll start with the WSL. Leno in goal.
Man, this guy, I think I've said this virtually every single game for the last 10 or so games. He's the most underrated keeper in the world, man. Seriously, this guy is so good. He's better than Lloris. He's better than I'm going to put this out there. I think he's better than Alisson. I think if Alisson, we're beginning to see how good Alisson is without a good defense. Look how many goals Liverpool are letting in without like Van Dijk and without these big defenders. I think if you put Alisson in our defense, he ain't doing as good as Bernd Leno is. But Bernd Leno, for me, he's at least second, possibly even the best keeper in the league. He's really improved this season, I think. I think, obviously, all the Martinez thing, I think, is a massive part of that. But I'm going to have to shout out the goalkeeping coach, Iñaki. I think the Runarsson signing was poor, and we don't know much about the Matt Ryan signing. But what he's done with Leno is so much better. You know, Leno's beginning to control his box more. Like, you can see him getting, like, visually angry at his players when they're letting a goal or something. He just looks more happy to play in goal. Like, the first goal, he very almost saved it. He wasn't going to save it, let's be honest, but he came close. The Ward-Prowse free kick at the end, I was scared at that. I was expecting him to score it. And it was a good, it was a solid save. And I mean, again, the goal kick to get the second goal. We haven't seen him take a proper goal kick in ages, and to get a goal from it makes it that much sweeter. He was up there for me for man of the match, but he doesn't get it. But I'm going to give him an 8 because I think he was really good today.
8, HJ. A lot of praises for Leno.
WSL covered the points there. I think saying he's above Alisson in the best in the world, I think that's a slight exaggeration. Slight. But I really like Leno. I have always done. I think even when under Unai Emery, when we had that many shots assists, I think without Leno, we would have lost games against like likes of Watford and stuff. So Leno is a very good goalkeeper. I still think we sold our best goalkeeper in the summer in Martinez. So I was a bit annoyed at that. I think the one time we have competition in our team for goalkeeper, we just decide to sell one of them, which is a bit annoying for me. Yeah. But Leno, again, in this game, he was very good. Things like commanding his box was something he wasn't doing last season, and he's really improved upon that. Again, WSL said the kicks as well. I think, again, he just kicked it over, and then the players did the rest, but that's, what was it, second goal? So, yeah, happy with Leno, 7.
I told you guys it was going to be a positive player rating. Strap up and let's enjoy the next few minutes again. Leno, very, very good again. It's a very good shot stopper. Maybe not in the kicking as WSL always points out, but there's a time we had Almunia, man. There's a time we had a terrible Fabianski. Yeah. There's a time we had a terrible Martinez. There's a time we had a terrible Manone. So even Czech was up and down in his time. Czech wasn't that good in his Arsenal career. A couple of good saves, but even him, a lot of mistakes. So it's very good to have a decent goalkeeper who can actually save us when you need him. So you've given him a 7. WSL has given him an 8. I think I'll give him a 7 because we considered a goal, not lost the game. No, we considered a goal, so I'm going to give him a 7. But brilliant saves. The next one, WSL again. I'll start with you. The right back, Bellery.
Seriously, man, I didn't even realize he was captain until he got the yellow card. I mean, I can't.
I'm surprised.
I can't understand why he's captain. I mean, I'll give him his praise. What I don't see Aubameyang doing enough is when something doesn't go our way, whether it be a penalty call or a yellow card or anything, Bellerin is getting in the face of the referee, but he's not changing the opinion of the referee. Like, I think where a Tierney or a Xhaka would change the opinion of the referee, or where like a Henderson would, Bellerin doesn't do that. To have him, I think he is our vice captain, because today Lacazette and Xhaka and even David Luiz were playing. They weren't captain. So I think Arteta has made Bellerin vice captain, which for me is just poor. Like, he is not a leader. He's never been a captain before. And we have players again like Xhaka, who has been captain of a national team, Luiz, who's been captain of PSG and stuff. It's just not the best decision. But Bellerin, I don't know, man. I really don't. He can't play right back for me. You've got to play Cedric right back now. Cedric is playing so much better, and I'm still selling Bellerin, but today he was pretty good. He wasn't amazing. I think he was quite lazy in some of the situations, especially when Redmond came on. Like, he was beginning to bomb down that side, and Bellerin was just not stopping the crosses or anything. But I mean, we won. We only conceded the one goal, and Bellerin didn't have any part in that goal. There was nothing that he did wrong in that goal. So I'll give him probably a 5 or a 6, just really average. So I'll probably give him a 6, yeah.
6. Okay, sweetie, thank you for the super stick. Clearly WSL doesn't like Bellerin, so I'll try and send this cash to Edu to try and get a new right back, maybe to put it into the fund. Let's try and get a new right back. So thank you for that. HJ, Bellerin. I was surprised he was captain. I thought Lacazette was our assistant captain.
I thought that as well, but again, WSL said it very well. He didn't do much right in terms of he didn't contribute so much, but I don't think he did much wrong either. He did his job. I think that's what we wanted from Bellerin. I think with Bellerin, just don't make any stupid mistakes. Some of his positioning I thought was quite good today. I liked it. Some of his tackling blocks as well within our edge of our 6-yard area was quite good. I was half impressed with Bellerin. I'm not usually am, but when I am, I'll give him the praise for it. For today, I'll give him a 7.
7 for today. I think that's a bit high. I'd give him a 6 because of that yellow card and stuff. Couple of silly fouls in here, so I agree WSL on this one, so I'm going to give him a 6. WSL next one is David Luiz.
Oh, he was poor, man. Let's be honest. He was really poor. I'm a big fan of Luiz. I think a lot of people give him again a lot of stick for no reason. A lot of people still bring up those silly red cards last season and stuff like that. It's like, just move on from that. Let's talk about his recent performances. And today he was poor. I think both the centre-backs were quite poor, but I think the difference is Holding got better in the second half, where Luiz didn't. He just kind of stayed quite poor. I think not the first goal, sorry, there was a few chances where Luiz was going in for a header and would completely mistime it. But I put some of those down to Rob Holding, actually, because there was one, I can't remember who it was, I think it was a Bednarek header, where Luiz did miss the header, but it looked to me like he expected Holding to get the header. Holding's ran off and Luiz is having to cover. So whether that's just Luiz not communicating properly or whether it's Holding, we don't know. But overall, Luiz just was not good today. And I'm hoping that we can get Marie or Gabriel back in time, because if he's going to keep playing like that, he can't start against Man United. So yeah, again, hopefully Gabriel or Marie's not injured. But I mean, today he was worse than Bellerin, so I'm going to have to give him a 5.
5. HJ, I mean, Luiz a bit shaky today. Gabriel a bit shaky over the weekend. Yeah.
Thing is, Marie's not injured. It's just that he plays one more game. We have to give Flamengo 1 million. It's like he's not going to play for the rest of this month. He'll come back in February after the transfer window, and then we'll give the 1 million to Flamengo. But if I'm Arsenal, just play him in the United game, because if we get the win, I'll just give the 1 million to Flamengo. I don't care. David Luiz, for his performance today, I thought he looked shaky at times, misplaced passes. Again, on the ball, sometimes looked quite shaky with some of his pass backs as well, giving away the ball. I thought Holding did excellent, and I think that sort of covered for David Luiz's mistakes in a way. So for David Luiz today, I'll give him a 5.
5. You gave him a 5 to WSL?
Yeah, I gave him a 5.
I think I'd agree that he was a bit shaky for today. Then the next one, I'll start with you again, WSL, for the defenders. Next one is Rob Holding. Poor the other day, by the way, in the first half against Southampton. How about today?
Exact same. I think he was really poor in the first half. I think he was probably even worse than Luiz in the first half. I think the first goal.
Really?
I think the first goal, a lot of people are going to blame Pepe, but I think Holding could have at least done something. He could have put a block in. He just kind of stood there. There was again a few chances again with the Luiz headers. I'm putting it on both of them because I don't know whether it was the miscommunication or whether it was Holding just completely losing track of his man. In the second half, though, he did improve a lot, which is the difference. He improved a lot, actually. I think he looked really good in the second half. I think he was controlling the ball properly. You know, he was shutting down Danny Ings. There was one time, though, that I will say, Danny Ings ran straight through Holding and Bellerin, and it was quite embarrassing, really. Danny Ings just completely spun them both. The only issue is Ings was on such a, the angle wasn't there to shoot. But it's poor that we're letting... Like, Danny Ings isn't a skillful player. He's more of a technical striker where he's just going to stand you up and shoot. So the fact that he's been able to just dribble through two of our defenders is quite embarrassing, really. Holding was much better than Luiz. And again, I'm not giving him as much praise as I probably should be. He was much better in the second half. So I'll actually give him a 7. I think he was really quite good today. Overall.
Okay, before I go to HJ, I'm gonna like criticize him a bit. I know it's not his work to score goals, but every single game Holding gets at least 2 chances in the opposition box. I always see him getting headers and chance to shoot, but he always shoots off target. I don't understand that. Yes, you can say it's not his job to score, but especially heading, like if you're a defender, that's the number 1 trait you're actually taught, to head the ball. So I don't get why he always heads it off target. If you watch the likes of Obon at West Ham, watch the likes of Zoom at Chelsea, those are all of them. Those would have been goals, all of them. So he needs to work on that. What should you give him for today?
Looking at some of the ones in the comments and even WSLs, I think I've overhyped his performance a bit, but I think I'll still stand by it because I think a phase in the second half where we were really under the cosh in a bit where Southampton were putting a lot of pressure on us, and I think Holding was pivotal to keep our lead intact because we were still 2-1 down. David Luiz makes a mistake and Holding has to make a last-ditch challenge. So I think if it wasn't for Holding today, we could have easily lost this game or turned it the other way or messed it up or screwed it up. And Holding again, first half, I wouldn't blame him for the first goal because it wasn't his man. It was more Pepe's man from the edge. It was the box from the edge of the box. Holding was with Luiz at the front post. So I think that was more on Pepe. So for Holding today, I'll give him a 9.
Whoa, 9. Do you guys agree that in the chat? A 9 for Holding?
Honestly, if it wasn't for him, we could have lost this game. If it wasn't for him, we could have lost this game. And we're all saying, we lost this game. We lost. It's embarrassing. So I think in some ways, he was a savior for us today.
I'll rewatch the game and see. I try and judge him and see if you're right on that. But for me, I think I'd give him like a 7 or something. But yeah, maybe a 9. Maybe
some of his headers away as well. Because Che Adams is a very tricky player, especially aerially. And Rob Holding, I thought, especially in the second half, did very well to nullify that.
9, okay. And then I also have a good feeling about the next one, WSL, Cedric.
I mean, like you said, I don't know how this guy can go from 2s and 1s and like 3s 3 days ago
2 days.
Now. I'm giving him a 9, man. Like, he was my man of the match. Seriously, I can't give players 10s. I'm only giving 10s for Patrick's or, like excessive, amazing defensive work, but like solid 9 for Cedric. Seriously, he was awesome. I mean, again, I don't get how this guy's gone from a 1 to a 2 to a 9, like just within days. Like obviously something's been going on in the training ground, or I don't know what, but. Yeah, I'm beginning to. I think this is probably too early to say this, but if he's going to keep playing like that on left back, he should be back up left back. I don't see why we need a Bertrand or anybody else. Like, Bertrand's not going to play that well. Let's be honest. Like, Bertrand isn't, or Tyreek. I forgot Mitchell. I think it is. I forgot his name,
Mitchell,
man. But he ain't going to play that well. Let's be honest. Like, they ain't playing that well. So if Cedric can consistently play that well, then he should be our backup left back. But I'd rather him be right back. I think he's 20 times better than Bellerin is right now, which just kind of says how poor Bellerin can really be. But yeah, the crosses today were excellent. Defensive work was even better. He was getting in the face of the referee when things weren't going our way. And by the way, this referee today was absolutely abysmal. But yeah, Cedric, the third goal, again, a lot of people aren't praising Cedric as much as they should be. That switch was just amazing, man. Seriously, that switch was amazing. But yeah, Cedric for me, 9 man of the match easily. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to say Saka, but no, I'm giving it to Cedric. 9.
I'm also going to give him a 9 because there was also a chance in the first half out of nowhere. The volley, it almost went in.
That was really close.
Yeah, that was a brilliant volley.
That was a great volley. If that had gone in,
Cedric again, brilliant. How has he done that in a few? That's just the story of our football club. Players can go from being so shy,
confidence players.
I don't even know how that happened with Cedric, but again, immense today. I think it was down to the fact that Arteta was telling the wing backs to push forward, and I praise Arteta for that. I think some tactical tweaks, and I think that worked really well in Arteta and Cedric's favor. But the crossing, how can you go from crossing so bad to so good? But I think with Cedric, I wouldn't see him as a backup left back. I disagree with WSL on that one. I think Cedric would rather see him on right back, at least until we sign another right back instead of Bellerin. But again, in terms of whether we could sign a backup left back, I would probably, because it's just one brilliant game he's had and one really bad game he's had. So what if he puts in another bad game? If we don't sign a backup left back, then everyone's saying, why didn't we sign a backup left back? So I think it's a bit tricky at the moment to say whether he can be good for us. But for Cedric today, really, really good. 9.
So what are we saying about Cedric? Because last time out, he had Martinelli in front of him, played poorly. He had Pepe today, played well. Are we saying Pepe is better than Martinelli? Are we saying Pepe is giving Cedric?
No. I think it's different. I think it's the style of play. I think it's the style of play that worked in his favor, because Martinelli, again, he's more of a player that will just run at you, and Pepe is more of a technical player in terms of your try-cut inside. So I think in terms of Cedric, in terms of more space on that left-hand side, I think it worked well for him. But yeah, we'll just have to see moving forward.
I was joking about
that. Yeah, exactly. I definitely agree with that comment, because I think that's something Arteta did very well. In terms of tactically tweaking it to make sure that Cedric does well on the left-hand side.
Yeah, thank you for that, David. Ghana Girl says I was very impressed with Cedric. Very, very good today. Can't disagree. The 9. Then for the midfield, I'll start with you, HJ. Granit Xhaka. Is this the Granit Xhaka we signed 4 years ago?
No, not having any of it. I'll still sell him as soon as possible, but he's having a little good run. Xhaka, I thought he played well today. I thought some of the through balls he was putting in were excellent. That's something I haven't seen from Xhaka for a while. He just normally goes backwards, sideways. The fact that he is trying to play the ball forward is very good, and I'm very impressed with that. Again, you just have to make sure it keeps going, keep your discipline good, and hopefully he can be a decent player for us to the end of the season. I wouldn't probably start him against United, but I think Arteta would. In this game, I would give him a 7.
7. Devleta?
Yeah, I felt Xhaka this first half. I thought it was one of the best first halves he's had. Against United, I keep bringing up other teams, but against United, the United-Liverpool game, the 3-2 in the FA Cup, a lot of fans are praising Pogba for doing, like, as they called it, the dirty stuff, like the stuff that isn't picked up on the cameras and talked about later on in the game. It's those simple passes, the interceptions, all this kind of thing. I don't think I'm not comparing him to Pogba in any way, and I agree with you, HJ. He needs selling. He's not good enough for this club. But today, the first half, he was just doing that dirty work. He was, putting them passes in, those like quick little tackles. There were I didn't really get angry at Xhaka today as much as I did get angry at like Luiz or Bellerin. He didn't give away as many stupid tackles as he used to do. Again, I think this is the second game in a row where he hasn't got a yellow card. So, discipline-wise, he's obviously beginning to learn to not be an idiot. I'm kind of upset that he wasn't captain. Not the fact that I'd rather him be captain over like Lacazette, but again, he is a leader. Let's be honest. The Switzerland team is built around Xhaka.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I will say this: I don't think Xhaka is a bad footballer, whereas I think Bellerin is just a bad footballer, and Willian is just a bad footballer. Xhaka, for me, just does not fit our style of play. He passes back way too much, and he would fit a team where they boot long balls from the back and they score like that, and we don't do that. We build up play. So Xhaka just doesn't fit the style, which means you got to get rid of him. If you don't fit your style, you get rid of him. But yeah, I think he would do well at another. Again, we bought him from Gladbach. I think he'd do really well at Gladbach right now. I watch a lot of Gladbach games, and they play perfectly to how Xhaka would play. But for today, first half he was great. Second half he went a bit quiet. But a lot of the Southampton play wasn't down the middle. It was down the wings and then, passing it into Ings and Adams. So I'll probably agree, give him a 7. He was good, but didn't really have that much to do, to be honest.
I agree with that leadership statement you've made, because if you're a new person at Arsenal, you just join the team and you look at everyone, the 3 people you'd pick as captains would be Saka, Luiz, and Tierney, just because of the experience and everything. It's just because they really don't perform on the pitch, not Tierney, but the other 2. So you can't really give them the captaincy. And Shaka was already at the captain, but he messed it up because he's the only one who looks like a captain with Luiz before Tierney emerged. So David says an 8, and I agree with him. You guys have given him a 7, but I think he was brilliant. That pass for Lacazette, and then the second pass for Pepe, he had some good interceptions. He looked good with Partey. You guys have always mentioned that he looks good, or Elneny looks good when they have Partey around. So I guess that kind of helps. So for me, it's going to get an 8. I think he was brilliant today. If he keeps improving like that and helps us until the end of the season, I'll be happy with that. So 8 for me. The next one is going to be Smith Rowe, HJ.
Isn't it Partey next? No.
No, just go with Smith first.
Smith Rowe, I thought he did very well today. I think the fact that I'm not going to use the word trying because that's not the right word. It's the pressing, the closing down of the Southampton players was very good, and I think that's why we press so high up, and that's something we weren't doing in the cup game. The fact that only it was one of Nketiah and Martinelli were pressing, we weren't doing it as a unit, and today we did it as a unit, and Smith Rowe was integral to that behind Alex Lacazette, and I think he did very well today, and I'll give him an 8.
8. Devesa?
I kind of, in certain times, I kind of forgot he was playing, not in a
really
way, or that he wasn't playing well. I think it was another one of these games with Crystal Palace. I didn't blame Pepe for playing poorly. I blamed the Crystal Palace defenders for playing well. They shut Pepe down. They didn't let him play. And I think today is the same thing with Smith Rowe. Let's be honest, a lot of Arsenal fans are saying it. Smith Rowe is currently one of our key players in the terms of he links the play. He does those little things that no one else can do at the club. And it's kind of the reason why we're bringing in Odegaard, because he can also do that and he's going to give him competition. So I think Southampton, and I think Hasenhüttl said today, if we shut down Smith Rowe, that's it. They're not going to score. They're not going to do anything. We've got the win in the bag. And obviously, we proved them wrong. Cedric played really well. Lacazette played well. And I think we didn't need Smith Rowe as much as Hasenhüttl expected. But because I think he did get shut down, I'm not going to give him a low rating. But I'll probably give him a 6 or a 7, probably a 7. Because he made some really good runs. He was always trying. And I mean, he wasn't meant to come off the pitch. He had another good 30 minutes left of the game when he came off. We don't know what he could have done in those 30 minutes. He could have scored a hat-trick. We don't know. So hopefully, again, he's not injured. Hopefully it's precautionary, and hopefully he can come against Man United and he can put them in the dirt at the Emirates. But 7 today.
There's a time there's a ball that came to him and he put it past McCarthy. Do you think he should have done better?
No, I mean, I think Smith Rowe needs to score a goal in the Premier League. Saka's scored a good few goals recently. Lacazette scoring. I think that a lot of people are comparing him to they're calling him the Croydon De Bruyne. De Bruyne scores goals at the end of the day. So Smith Rowe, as well as he's doing, I want a good 1 or 2 more goals from him. So yes, I think he should have scored it, but at the same time, I'm not angry that he didn't, because he hasn't had that many chances yet, and I think over time he'll get used to those chances and he'll get used to putting them away.
I think that's one of the reasons we brought in Odegaard, because he brings goals from midfield from that position, and I think he'll help us bring them goals. On the Smith Rowe chance on McCarthy, I think that was a very difficult chance, to be honest. McCarthy, I think, did quite well, in my opinion, to close that one down. So I think it was a very difficult one, and I wouldn't really blame him too much. But I think that's one of the reasons we're bringing in Odegaard. He brings the goals from that position, and I think if Odegaard can settle quickly, which is what we're all wishing, I think we can really get up that table quickly if he brings them goals.
Do you guys know there's a time Willock, Niles, Nketiah, and Nelson were all ahead of Smith Rowe in the pecking order? And
exactly.
I still can't believe that I see Smith Rowe in the lineup, and I'm very happy to see him in the lineup. Like, thank goodness this so-and-so is not there, and he was there, because I know the way he just glides with the ball in midfield, Didn't do that much today, but the way he looks so confident doing everything. Against Newcastle, we saw he can cross with the left foot. Today, we saw Saka crossing with the right foot. How many times have you seen Pepe putting in a cross with the right foot? Simple things like that. So for me, I probably, what did you give him, WSL?
7.
7. You gave him an 8, HJ?
Yeah, I gave him an 8, and I do definitely still stick with that because I thought with Southampton playing 4-4-2, in the midfield, Smith was the extra man, so I thought he was getting on the ball. And I think with the way we were pressing, he was very, very key to that because he was closing down the Southampton, trying to play out from the back, and then that's where we broke on them, and then that's where our wing play started with Cedric and Pepe on the other side, even Bellerin trying to come around. So I think he was very good to that, and I'll give him an 8. He's the glue that's sticking the attack together.
Okay, you can go with the next one too. Thomas Partey.
Wasn't his best game. I'll be honest. I think he did a lot of things he's a world-class player, and I think his bad performances won't give him bad marks for the simple fact that, his expectations are so high and we always expect him to hit those expectations. But today, I don't think it was his lesser good performances. He was giving away the ball quite a few times. I thought he was quite slow in terms of his transition today. Something we don't see from Partey a lot, but I think some of his passing, again, was excellent moving forward. Yes, his transition was slow, but when he did move the ball forward, it was very fluid, and that's exactly what we want to see from Partey. Some of his tackles as well, when he did lose the ball, his recovery was very good in that aspect as well. So I'll give him a 6 today.
Thank you for that, David. I appreciate it. And thank you for that, Sweetie. I appreciate it. She says, I'm buzzing. Yeah, we all are, man. WSL, Thomas Partey. Happy to have him in the lineup, first of all.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, it's why we signed him. He's meant to be a starter, and every game he starts, it's promising. But what I will say is, I disagree to some extent of what HJ said. I think, yes, some of the stuff he did today was quite poor, but at the end of the day, I am beginning to think, and I keep blaming Arteta for certain players' bad performances, but the way I look at their performances and the way that they've never performed like this in their life, it begins to make me think they are. And I think Arteta is relying on Partey to be so defensive that he isn't allowed to move quick enough forward. There was one chance when he dribbled past 2 players, which I was buzzing when he did that. I mean, he got tackled eventually, but just those little runs, if he can just make them a bit more perfect, if he can just get that little last minute pass off, or if he can get past that extra man, he could be exactly what we need. A lot of people are saying we should bring in Houssem Aouar, but Houssem Aouar plays very similar to Partey, except that he just doesn't defend as much. So I think if Partey can get that little bit more attacking blend to his game, where he can go forward a bit easier, especially those long shots. If he
That's
can
a good comment there from David. Sums it up quite well.
Then he could be scoring a few goals. But what I will say is, if you look up calm and composed in the dictionary, you're going to see a picture of Partey. He's never stressed. He's never looking worried that he's made a mistake. Like HJ said, the one thing that I've seen Partey do more, which is why he's an elite class is an elite footballer, is whenever he does lose the ball, you can always see him chasing it down. Whereas a Willian or a Saka loses the ball, they're not going for it as much. They're not chasing it as much. Whereas Partey won't stop until he's got that ball back. He'll run half the pitch to get the ball back. So I'll probably give him a 7. I mean, yes, it was one of his worst games, but at the same time, we controlled the midfield again.
His bad games aren't that bad.
Exactly, that's the promising thing. His bad games are still good games when you look at a player like a Saka or an El Neni. They're still good games for them. So that's promising, but I'll give him a 7.
Partey plays that Partey. Wow, come on. That's a bit harsh comment.
By who? Oh, sorry, but yeah, when you have Partey in the middle, you feel so secure. He's better than. Let's be honest, he's better than the likes of El Neni. He can move forward. He can drive forward with the ball. David says he plays like Alex Song. Are you talking about that comment, Jay?
Yeah.
I actually thought Alex Song, especially those balls he used to give Van Persie, he used to be very good at it. If Partey can get those cheap balls and stuff. But Partey's amazing. I'm happy to have him at Arsenal. Then the next midfielder, HJ, Saka.
Saka, Bukayo Saka. What a player! What a player we have on our hands! What a player we have on our hands, and you can't say anything more. Again, firstly, the goal, so calm, so composed. He knew exactly what he was doing, and like when he received the ball from Lacazette, he just got the touch around McCarthy and slid it in, what else can you say? And the assist as well, Cedric put it on a plate for him, and Saka just had to drive it down to Lacazette, who Lacazette had the easiest job there. He just had to literally tap it in, and he just fell on it and tapped in. And Saka, 15, why not? But for Saka today, I'll give him a 9.
9, don't listen.
I've got a little stat here that I think just proves Saka is the best teenager in the league, and that there is no doubt about it.
He's got more combined goals than any other teenager in the league.
Saka has 5 goals this season, and every single other teenager in the league has a combined 4. Fabio Silva from Wolves has scored 2, Greenwood scored 1, and I think it's Ait-Nouri from Wolves, the left back. He's also scored 1. Man United fans, Greenwood's better than Saka apparently. Greenwood is a striker.
Exactly.
His job is to score goals. Saka is a winger. His job is to do everything pretty much but score goals when it comes to attack. Same for Fabio Silva. He's playing virtually every game for Wolves as a striker. They've had to bring a new striker in because he's not giving them as much output as they're expecting. The funniest thing about Saka as well is Saka has more goals this season with his weak foot than Greenwood has with both feet. And Greenwood is meant to be like this guy who can shoot on either foot and still score. So, you can argue that Greenwood hasn't played or this and that. At the end of the day, if he was as good as Saka, he'd be playing games. Saka's playing in the worst Arsenal team ever, and he's still producing like excellence. This guy has to be, for me, one of the first names in the team sheet for England. Like, he's just incredible. He has to be going to the Euros, and he's just excellent, man. And like I said, I'm going to give him a 9 as well. But the reason why I don't give him man of the match is I think Cedric was just a bit better. But the goal, like, come on, man. He gets better. Like, his goals get better every single time he scores.
Do you think Saka could get ahead of Sancho and Sterling in the England team?
Yeah. I think Sancho really isn't that good.
I think he's overrated.
He's a great player. Don't get me wrong. He's a wonderful player, Sancho, but he's not this 120 million pound signing that everybody talks about. He's not the savior of Man United. Like, Sterling has looked good this season, but I'd play Sterling right wing, or I'd play Sterling left wing and Saka right wing, man. Like, what other better English right wing is there in the world right now? Like, please tell me. Sancho, I'm not even putting him in the category because he just isn't producing, and Dortmund aren't playing that well. And like, who else is there? Like, Callum Hudson-Odoi? No, he's not even close. Like, I just don't see anybody else near his level. And I think the funniest thing with Saka is, if you guys remember the hype Reece Nelson had about 2 or 3 years ago, nobody was talking about Saka. No one was talking about Saka. And the funniest thing is, one of the first people to talk about Saka was Ty from AFTV, and everybody called him a waffler, and they were all like, oh, Nelson's better, this and that. I mean, who are you taking in the team right now, Nelson or Saka? That's all I'm going to say, man. But he was
exactly
what a player, man.
I think that would be 100% votes for him. I did put another poll at that time a week ago asking about who your favorite Arsenal player is right now, and it was between 4 players: Tierney, Saka, Smith Rowe, and Aubameyang. And then if you wanted to add another one,
I think it's joint for me.
Tierney got 50% of the votes. He was the first one. I voted for Tierney myself, but Saka is, as Weasley Snipes says, Saka is different. Like, Lacazette misses a chance in the first minute. Saka gets the same opportunity on his weaker foot, and he literally shows Lacazette how to finish. Saka is younger than Smith Rowe, and what a player he is, man. I didn't know he'd come. I remember he was on the bench against Chelsea in the Europa League final in Baku, and I was like, who the hell is this Saka guy? He's literally changed our fortunes. Literally, when Willian plays, we have no chance of scoring, and when Saka plays, when Nelson, that question you asked WSL about Nelson and Saka, when Nelson is playing, I don't feel 100% confident, but when Saka is playing, when he has the ball, I'm expecting him to do something. So HJ gave him a 9. I don't know why he gave him a 9, because I'd give him a definite 10. This guy, the cross on his right foot, didn't have a touch for anything, just gave the ball to Lacazette straight away. The goal, very, very good. The composure to take it around the goalkeeper. What a player, man. I love Saka. Probably most people's best player right now. What a player, what a player. So, yeah, Saka gets a 10 for me. Then the next one is Pepe. WSF surprisingly also did well.
Like I said, when he was on the starting 11, not Martinelli, I thought one of two things: either Arteta's gone mad, or he's saving Martinelli for United, and that's it. And I really hope that Arteta's going to come out and say, "No, I played him."
As well.
Yeah, exactly. And either way, whatever the reason he played well. And let's be honest, I've given him a lot of stick. I actually wanted him to go, and HJ, you were one of the people who said you'd give him a bit more time. And after this performance,
I know what he can do.
Yeah, I always knew what he could do. The thing with me is he just had way too many opportunities, and I'm not even taking the piss. I was watching the game with somebody, and literally in like 20 seconds before Pepe scored, I read a tweet that said like Pepe needs to play well today, and somebody replied saying, "How many times this season have we said that?" And he hasn't performed. 20 seconds later, he goes and scores a goal.
I think with Pepe is he's appeared in a few games, but he's not been given a consistent run in the team. Give me one instance that he's played more than 5 games consistently started. He hasn't.
He doesn't deserve it, so that's the problem.
Yeah, I think with Pepe, when HJ says that he needs time to get into the game, I disagree. I think Pepe needs time, as in a multiple amount of games to get into the Premier League. I think Pepe, one thing I'll say is he's lost a lot of pace. Look at some of the clips from Lille. He was rapid. He was so quick with the ball, and he doesn't look quick anymore. And I think that's because
maybe that's because of the league. I think that's mainly down to the league.
And I think if he gets a good run of games, he might be able to suss out the league, and he might be able to regain that pace and play like look how quick Salah and Mane are. They're really quick. So I think if he's able to get some games, he can be as quick as Mane and Salah. I'm not saying he's going to be the same player or the same impact yet, but you know, at the end of the day, he played really well today. Great goal. Again, he could have gone down for the penalty. It would have been the safer option. Like, let's be real. If he missed that chance, everybody would have been saying, "Oh, go down for the penalty," you know, this and that. But he took it with his, you know, he said, "No, I'm scoring this. I've got it on my strong foot," and he scored. And I agree with you, HJ. He can't play right wing anymore. He's not a right winger for me. He's an attacking midfielder or a left wing. End of story. He can't play right wing. And I think
always wanted him to be tried out as an attacking midfield as a number 10, because on the right side he always annoys me, man. The way he cuts back to his left and then turns back to his right and then he turns back to his left. There are already 10 Burnley defenders there. He gets a corner, goes to take the corner, always short corners every single time. He annoys me. That's why I was saying
no one really likes Burnley though.
Yeah, that's why I used him as an example. So that's why I'm saying he's never really deserved a run of games, because after 2 games, 3 games, he's already annoying every Arsenal fan. So like City says, I'm impressed with Pepe in this game. I wanted him out, but I've changed my mind for now. So should he be tried more on the left side?
I think I think that's a good position for him. I don't know if AUBAMEYANG will be ready for the Man United game. I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh, he better be, man. He better.
Apparently he's not going to be. Apparently he's not.
Pepe scored a few goals against Man United, so maybe we could get a bit of out of him. But with the thing at Lille, I think he played under Marcelo Bielsa, and you're looking at how he's playing with Leeds right now. They play a very attacking sort of football where, you know, they need pacey players running behind. And remember, at Lille, he played striker, like in the 2 up front. He's playing in a very different system here at Arsenal. So I think for a lot of reasons, this is why Pepe isn't doing very well. He is definitely not 72 million. He's barely 30 million in my opinion. But I've never tapped out on him, just for the simple fact I know what he can do. If Arteta can give him a run of games, put faith in him for 7-10 games, like straight, and then I'll judge him properly. Because right now, when he's in and out, I can't judge him properly, because for the next 2 games, he might be out completely if Martinelli and AUBAMEYANG's playing, and we might not see him again for 2-3 games, and then he might come back and then settle in, and then, you know, it's one of them ones with Pepe. I'm going to give it until probably the end of the season, see where we're at, see what teams might be interested. But for now, I like Pepe. Keep him. Europa League, he'd be very useful, and we'll just see what happens. But for today, he got the goal, which is again very good for his confidence. And yeah, as it says here, Pepe turned up, and he's driving at them players from the left hand side. Helped Cedric his game as well. And yeah, Pepe for today, I'll give him an 8.
Listen, I always criticize Pepe and Willian because I was so happy when Willian signed at the beginning of the season, and I was so happy that Pepe would stay with us again. Obviously, he was going to stay, but I was hoping he'd have a better season this time round. So I don't want them to do badly. I wanted Willian to score so badly when he came on, but yeah,
he just
Pepe
needs it, to be honest.
very well.
Willian needs it.
What did you give Pepe, SJ?
8.
WSF?
I'm going to give him an 8 as well.
I think I agree with that. I don't know why the referee gave him a yellow card when he was still waiting for Smith Rowe to get treated. So
that was anyway. I don't know why the referee did that.
Yeah, like I said, I thought the referee was abysmal, man. Like we're going to give him a rating. Referee gets.
You're going to give him a rating today, no problem. So the next one is Lacazette. HJ.
Lacazette, again, as I said earlier, his hold-up play was excellent today. He allows the likes of Smith Rowe to get into the game. He allows Pepe, Saka to get into the game. He got the assist as well as the goal. So again, I can't fault his play today. He did very well. Sometimes, again, he didn't get on the ball as much as he wanted to, but when he did, he used it to great effect, and that's why I didn't think he got taken off in this game. I'll definitely start him in the United game. He's in good form, 6 goals in the last 7 or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, keep with him. He's got most goals. He's in double digits now, 10 goals for us this season, more than Mane, by the way. So it's been a decent season for Lacazette. Long may it continue, but for today, I'll give him an 8.
Although the United game that you mentioned, the memories of Lacazette and United, that time United came to our place and beat us 3-1 and we had like 40 shots. Lacazette was one of the reasons why we didn't win that game. We missed so many chances against United.
Yeah, they had a
double
league.
Yeah, I think they had like 6 shots and still beat us 3-1. Yeah, and Lacazette was the one who missed a lot of chances that time around. So David says Lacazette gets an 8. I agree that he was very, very good. Plus, that first goal, I don't know if you guys saw when Pepe scored, it was Lacazette who won the ball from their player, and then it went to Bellerin, and then it went to Pat, and then Saka. Yeah, so I was happy with his performance today. Very, very different from what Nketiah did over the weekend. So yeah, very, very different. Then for the substitutions, who came on first?
It was Willian.
Awesome. So HJ Willian.
Didn't really do loads for me. He just, I guess, I'm not too sure on Willian. He tried doing things, didn't really work out as well. Give him a 4.
4, okay. WSF?
2. Rubbish, once again, trash. I see a lot of people saying that Willian, he gets scapegoated a lot and that people just hate him and that they'll never accept that he can do anything good. He hasn't done anything good, let's be honest. People are giving him praise for the pre-assist for.
I'll change it. I'll give him 2. Yeah.
The pre-assist, like it was a simple. What that was Willian was too lazy to run at the Southampton defenders, so he turned, passed it back to Cedric, once again passing the ball backwards, by the way, which we've been getting on at like Xhaka and El Neni for doing, but Willian did it and we praise him. Nah, that goal was all Cedric. That pass to Saka and then the first time cross, that was nothing to do with Willian. Willian did nothing. The free kick, another trash free kick. I'm sorry, this set piece coach needs sacking. We've scored 2 goals from set pieces this season, the lowest of any team in the league, worse than West Brom. Even Sheffield United have scored more goals on set pieces. Sheffield United, it's poor, man. Seriously, this guy was brought in just recently to change us. We've conceded loads of goals from set pieces. We're not scoring any. And when we're putting Willian on free kicks instead of Nicolas Pepe, this guy needs sacking. I'm sorry, this set piece coach is deluded. He's an idiot. He needs to go, and we need to get someone else in. But Willian, I give him a 2 simply because we won and we scored when he came on. So a little bit of a good luck charm, I guess. But people are saying he needs a goal. He needs a goal to kick off his career. Nah, man. He scores. He'll do nothing.
Sell him now. Get rid.
This guy isn't even a confidence player. He's just lazy. He's here for the money, and that's it. And the fact that he's the second highest paid player at the club, nah, man. Seriously, this guy, he is trash, and he needs to leave.
I can't actually believe the season is about to end and he hasn't scored a goal. You know, the season is ending and he hasn't scored a goal. And
by the way, it's 2 shots on target in 21 games now, so it's even worse than it was a few weeks ago. So he's just getting worse and worse for me.
Sell him now.
Wow.
Get rid.
Just terminate his contract, man. Let him go with
this January.
I wouldn't terminate him because I think we could get a bit of money for him because of his contract length. Maybe make a profit on the deal, because if it's only been 6 months now, so if we do let him go, obviously again Odegaard in, so that's I guess a backup. It's like replacing Willian in a sense. So I think I'd get rid of him now, make a profit, and move on.
I'm sorry, Willian. I can't make a case for you here. I'm sorry until you improve next time. The next one is El Nini. Was he on for enough time?
No. NA. No, I'm not going to give him anything.
How about Willock?
Willock, neither. No.
I just one quick thing about Willock. Again, like you said earlier, Glenn, and I think it was either of you two, but Smith Rowe was like down there for not going to be big. You know, it was him and Saka that were seen as less as like a Willock, Nketiah, and Nelson. The fact that both of those two are up there is quite ironic. But what I will say with Smith Rowe is this: ever since he's gone on loan to Leipzig, but mainly Huddersfield, he's came back. He's looked immense. He was really, really good for Huddersfield. Why can't they do the same with Willock? Send him out on loan. Let him have a year away in the Championship, because I'm sure a Championship team will take him. Like, someone will be desperate to take him.
I think a German team would take him.
Give him to, like, Hertha Berlin. They need it, and they're not looking too good right now. Let him link up with Guendouzi. So if you ask me, Willock, just find a good place. So don't send him out to some crap team in League Two. Send him out to a good Championship team or a German team. Let him get some good experience. And if he doesn't turn out like Smith Rowe, cut ties, sell him off for some good money, and find someone else. Because we have other midfielders that play similarly to Willock in the academy. We've got Karajan, Cottrell, Aziz, Omari Hutchinson. There's loads of the guys. We've got more midfielders in the youth academy than we probably have anything else. So
maybe even in the women's team we have better players.
Definitely, man. Oh man, I'd take a Katie McCabe or a Van der Donk over Willock any day. But at the end of the day, Willock, exactly. Come on, Aziz has to be knocking on the door now. Same for Cottrell and Karajan. If Willock ain't performing, you just sell him off. We paid nothing for Willock. Get some money from him. Use that money to get a good contract on an Aziz or something, and play him instead. Yeah.
I think with Willock as well, I think he's been given a lot of chances. Definitely. Go all the way back to the Unai Emery era. He got given a lot of chances by him. And I think one thing with Willock I always hated, he made the wrong decision. His energy I've never faulted his energy, but when it got to the last pass, he didn't pass and just went for glory, and it kind of pissed me off so many times. Arteta gave him a run in the Premier League as well. He gave him 2-3 games to prove himself. He didn't prove. And now Smith Rowe's got the same chances. He's taken it. So I think with Willock and I'll sell him. Get rid. Not loan him. Just get rid. He's got given enough chances now. You do better at another club. Not for me. Get rid.
Okay, the last one is Mikel Arteta. Now, in case you don't know, I've always been Mikel Arteta in, not blindly. No, I was like giving him until January to see what he does. And these other two, especially HJ, is always saying Arteta out. So let's see if he gives him a positive rating today. I'll start with you. What did you make of the starting lineup, the subs, all that?
I think I have to give him a positive because some of the things tactically he did today were very good. And with the pressure on him on this game, especially after that FA Cup exit, there was a lot of pressure on him against the same opponent away from home to win the game. Tactically, to get Cedric into the game, to get the wing backs into the game, especially like Pepe, to play him out on that left wing instead of Martinelli. That tactical decision was very good from him. I can't fault him for him. Again, the lineup was pretty decent. Obviously, like Satini weren't playing, but it looks like he's injured. Marie as well. Not sure exactly what's going on, but with Arteta, I can't fault it today, and I'll give him an 8.
An 8. Now, before I go to WSL, I'm still not happy about him giving away the FA Cup the other day, because I love that competition. That has given us the best memories the last 15 years, literally. So I wasn't happy with that. But judging him for today, WSL, apparently you're supposed to like revenge and redeem himself, but still, he doesn't redeem that FA Cup. But what you give him for today?
Literally, I was just about to say that this does not redeem him at all for the FA Cup. If anything,
obviously.
If anything, it makes it worse because we've just slapped Southampton. And let's be honest, this Southampton team that played today was pretty much better on paper. They had a good few changes in there. Yes, their fullbacks were a little bit weaker, but They had a lot, they had their main goalkeeper starting. They had like Danny Ings and Che Adams were on job. And let's be honest, if Arteta wouldn't have been stupid and would have played a Smith Rowe and a Saka in that game, we would have still been in the FA Cup and would have got the 3 points today. So the fact that we just went and slapped them like we did, it makes it just that bit worse because we knew we could have beaten them. And it wasn't that they outclassed us last week. It was that we decided to be stupid with it and we threw it away. At the end of the day, though, the Cedric thing for me was the biggest changing point. At the way Cedric changed, switched up from crap to great today, it showed that has to be something to do with Arteta. That's not just Cedric playing well. That's something to do with Arteta. So give him his praise for that. Give him his praise for playing Pepe for whatever reason it was. Pepe scored. And you've also, for me, you've got to give him the praise for once again sticking with Lacazette. Lacazette missed the chance. I was actually calling for him to come off. I said, bring Martinelli on for him. Lacazette went and scored. So fair play to him for that. But his substitutions for me just get worse and worse every game. Martinelli was meant to come on. Smith Rowe gets injured. Fair play. So still bring Martinelli on. Why can't Martinelli play number 10? Why can't you move? I'd have put Martinelli left wing and moved Pepe in the middle. But he decides to. He had to bring Willian on. He has to. It's like he's addicted to it. Like he has to bring Willian on. Otherwise, it isn't a successive game. Willian comes on, does nothing. This would have been a perfect game for Martinelli. He could have drove at those defenders. They weren't looking that good, and he could have probably got
wing backs as well.
Exactly. So I'd have played him left wing, moved Pepe in the middle, and brought Smith Rowe off. The Willock one, there was no time left, but Willock's not a great player. But you're bringing him on with 2 minutes left. What's the point? Like, give Willock a chance, man, because now people are just going to say, "Oh, we did nothing, this and that." And same thing with El Neni. Like, he didn't have enough time to make an impact. So bring these guys on earlier or just don't bring them on. But the fact that Martinelli didn't even get to come on, for me, is a mockery. Like, Martinelli got fully kitted up. He's going to be sat there at home tonight like, I was about to come on the pitch and he brought Willian on instead of me. What? Like, is Martinelli the next Pepe? Like, where he's just not going to get played anymore because Willian's apparently better? Like, seriously, for me, I'm still playing Martinelli over Pepe against United. I ain't risking it. Pepe had one decent game, not risking that. Martinelli, for me, is going to do something against United. Get him in there. Get Willian. If Willian comes on the pitch against Manchester United, game over. Game over. Seriously. So Arteta needs to look at tonight's performances once again and build his team around it. But solid 7 today. Some good tactical decisions. But the United game's the big one. Like, I'll see his rating after that one.
Glenn, I just want to ask you. You know that recent comment by David there? Can you pin it?
By David? Saying what?
The 9-1.
Okay.
Arteta gets tonight. He says it. I still think a better manager will get higher up this group. I want to ask you, because you're an Arteta supporter, if we had a proper manager with this group, with this league that has been so open, do you think a better manager would be putting us in a title charge this season?
Title charge? No, not a title charge. Maybe
I'm not even kidding.
The table.
Maybe
top 5. Maybe top 5, yes, but I wouldn't.
The way this league is going would be in a title charge. I think with the leg would be in a title charge this season.
With the same players, the name is.
Yeah, no, if he gets it right, if we have the likes of Partey in our squad, if you put them with the right players, if we started the season playing the likes of Smith Rowe, the youngsters more, I think a better manager like Allegri would have got the best out of these players and we could have been in a title charge this season.
Agreed.
With this league table.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to look at how teams are performing. United aren't as good as people are saying they are, but they're top. Like, Liverpool are playing awfully. City had a really slow start. Tottenham are bottling it like usual. Like, they ain't winning the league, let's be honest. Leicester are looking immense. Everton have dropped off. Southampton are dropping off. It's like teams are not consistently playing well. United will have a point where they drop off again. Chelsea were playing good. They've dropped off. We could have genuinely had, like, look at the season when Leicester won it.
That's what frustrates me.
We should have won that season. I'm sorry. We should have won that season. Leicester should not have won. We should have won that season, and we didn't. So with a better manager, we should be doing the same thing this season. And because it's frustrating. Let's just be honest. if every single team was if this was a normal league season, we'd have been relegation zone. Let's be totally honest right now. We were lucky that this season was the season we decided to perform badly. And yeah, like I completely agree. And Allegri, or Pochettino, any of them would have
because
put
Glenn, you look at some of United, City are top. United got smashed 6-1 to Tottenham. Liverpool got smashed 70 to Villa. It's going to beat Crystal Palace 7-0. Leicester go and beat City 5-2, and then go and lose 3-0 to West Ham. Everyone's slapping each other around, and I think with a better manager, we would have been challenging for the title this season, and that's what gives me so much frustration this season. Because with a better manager, we would have been challenging for a title. Because I don't believe any of this process thing. A process does not take 4 years. A process takes a good manager and good recruitment in a season, getting the best out of your players.
Okay, so no one knew the season would turn out like that. Remember that?
Yeah, but you can expect anything when you go into a season.
Yeah, but it's already too late. It's already here. We've already lost those games.
That's what gives me the frustration.
And then another point I wanted to say also, those players that he signed, those very good players, he's been really unlucky with Partey being injured the whole season. Gabriel has been suspended. He's had COVID. He's been out. Martinelli has been injured for nearly the entire season. Yes, for Smith Rowe, maybe could have brought them earlier in and stuff like that. But I still look at the defensive record that we have this season, better than maybe 17 teams or something. Yes, we did not score a lot of goals, but there are a few positives. And there is never a guarantee that we can say that Pochettino's here would have been top of the table. There is no guarantee that.
I'm saying Allegri.
I'm not even saying top of the table. I'm just saying title challenges as a whole, like being in there, like maybe third, I think it's fifth right now, but in contention for it. I think the one thing as well with me is I accept the Gabriel injury, and the Martinelli injury, but the Partey injury, all Arteta's fault. He got injured initially, but the thing he did with Tottenham when he pushed him on the pitch was the dumbest move he's done all season. You've just pushed your prime player who's showing signs of a bad injury. You've pushed him on the pitch, and you've pushed him that little bit too far to where he got injured for even longer. At the end of the day, Arteta's man management still isn't good enough, but I respect Arteta in, guys. I'm never going to disrespect, if he can get a top 4 this season, if he can somehow do it, whether it be Europa League or in the league, I'll let him stay for a little while longer. He ain't getting us top 4. And I'm already seeing some people say, but top 6 is acceptable. No, it's not. I don't care what the circumstances are. I don't care that COVID's around or this and that. Injuries, not bothered. The goal was top 4, and Arteta said it himself. 8th in an FA Cup is not good enough. He's out the FA Cup, and we're only just 8th. Let's be honest. Chelsea probably will win tomorrow against Wolves that have that new management buzz, so they'll go ahead of us. Villa have got 3 games in hand, and Everton, who are 7th, 3 games in hand. So we're 8th now. We'll probably be 10th by the end of this week. So, and then we've got United next, and the way they're playing, Bruno Fernandes is going to slap us up. So, we need to look at everything.
Okay, what if they don't?
If they don't. I'm not. Wait, I'm predicting we're going to win. I'm always going to predict we're going to win. I'm saying 3-2 Arsenal, but it has signs of we're going to lose. Like, it really does. They're top of the table. They're firing on all cylinders. Fernandes scored a worldie of a free kick against Liverpool to win it. He's on form. It just has it written all over it. United fans are confident. So hopefully Arteta does what he did against Chelsea. Chelsea fans were overly confident. They got cocky. They got slapped. And hopefully, we dislodged Chelsea's season. Let's be honest, we're the reason Frank Lampard got sacked, because we dislodged their season, and from that point, they were trash. Let's now get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sacked. Beat United. They're going to go on a bad run. Get him sacked. If Arteta can last longer than Lampard and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you've got to give him the praise, man, because seriously, I was expecting him to be the first out of 3, but...
So David says about Brendan Rodgers, if he had Lacazette and Aubameyang, definitely. But if you look at Leicester's midfield and you compare it to Arsenal, they are far much ahead of us. Just Tielemans by himself and did even without Maddison, they're way better than us. Though, if Gabriel and Partey have been good, I still want to see Odegaard if he's an Arteta signing. I want to see how he does, and I want to see how he does with the other signings. So you guys, everyone, and Quick Gun in the chat, and David, you guys have Alex in the chat. You guys have to really convince me to turn to Arteta out. You really have to convince me. But as of now, it's Arteta in and WSL HJ90 out.
I will do it.
I think there's reports doing the rounds that with our wages coming off the books, and if we make Champions League, we're going after Grealish. So fingers crossed we can get Champions League football, so we can go and sign one of these big players. Because
I'd love it if we get to Arteta.
Grealish would be the dream. Grealish would be the dream, and I think someone very similar to Grealish as well was the player we played today, Ward-Prowse. He's very similar to Grealish in the terms of the way he plays, and his set pieces are second to none in this league.
I'm taking Maddison over Ward-Prowse. 4 goals in 4 games, world-class player.
Maddison, no, Leicester. Thing is with Leicester, they like to overhype their players. Maguire 90 million, Chilwell 55 million. They'll make us overpay for Maddison. I don't think Maddison's all that. He's a decent player. I'll almost go to say Mason Mount's better than Maddison.
Awesome. So let's get into the man of the match. We drifted a bit into Arteta in and Arteta out again. It's always a long topic, starting with Arteta in, Arteta out. It's always a long topic. But yeah, who was the man of the match, Lisa?
Cedric.
Cedric. HJ? Holding, you gave him a 9.
Holding, Cedric and Saka.
Holding. Wow, I'm still not convinced about that holding.
I've got 3 man of the matches today. I can't pick one.
How about Arteta?
I said 8, I think. Yeah, 8.
No, I wanted you to say he was the man of the match. So yeah, you missed the opportunity to do that. So next game, Saka man of the match for Mr. BK, man of the match for Alex, Saka and Cedric, and Saka for Dave. Yeah, definitely Saka. Cedric was okay, but Saka was brilliant. The reason why he got the goal, that crucial second goal, created that crucial third goal. Brilliant work from Cedric. So next game, United.
About the Cedric pass, that third goal wouldn't have been in. Just saying.
Next game is Manchester United. Just briefly, just one minute each. WSL, give me a starting lineup. 1 minute.
Leno, obviously, ain't gonna happen. But Mari and Holding, Tierney, Cedric right back, Partey and Xhaka. Ain't hearing this selling any rubbish. Martinelli left wing, Smith Rowe in midfield, and then Saka, and then Lacazette up front. Also, Odegaard on the bench. Odegaard on the bench for me.
Yeah, I forgot you had someone else, HJ.
Leno, Cedric right back, Murray, Holding, Tierney, Elneny, Partey for the simple reason. Last time we played United, Partey and Elneny were exceptional. Smith Rowe is number 10. Smith Rowe is number 10. Right, Saka, centre, Lacazette, left, Martinelli.
Your prediction for the game?
4-1 win to the Arsenal.
WSL?
3-2 to Arsenal.
Oh, wow. So after all that, they still predict an Arsenal win. We have a good record at home against United. WSL, I'm not saying I'm not scared of United. I am very scared of Fernandes in that midfield. I'm hoping Partey covers him. So just quickly let me know in the chat what your prediction is for that game. Very crucial game. If you beat United, they kind of City kind of open the gap between them, which is good for us. And we kind of climb that table even up and up. So I guess what I was saying to you, WSL, if you wanted to have a bet that we will beat United, but clearly you predicted a win. So thank you, everyone in the chat. Give a shout out to your channel, HJ.
On HJ90 on YouTube, HJ90YT on Twitter as well.
Awesome. WSL?
WSL FC on YouTube and at FC_WSL. I've also got a new video coming out very soon. So make sure you guys check that out.
Thank you, man, guys, for coming on. That was a fun one. It's always positive when you win the game. And everyone watching, I appreciate it for coming on. You guys for coming on. Make sure you drop a like on the video. We'll probably see the announcement of Martin Odegaard tomorrow. So let's watch out for that. Thank you for watching. Keep staying safe. Come on, you Gunners, and I'll catch up with you guys later.